What's happening here today?
We're having a whale disentanglement tool workshop with people from across Canada, input from worldwide on different tools that are used for disentangling whales. We are taking the tools that people brought and using and testing them for their cutting strength on different types of ropes. This is our first time doing this. So what we're doing is looking at the gear that we already use and some prototypes that have never been used in the water and finding ways to cut gear off the whale easier, maybe at a long distance easier, maybe if they're embedded ropes easier. It's just to make it a safer process for the disentangler and a quick process for disentangling the whale.
The Whale Research Group has tried rescuing whales from the ice, from fishing nets, up to 150 whales in years while the cod fishery was active.
This was a problem where a whale was in someone's cod trap and someone got in touch with John at the university, and because he had been doing some things with whales, and they asked him if he would come and try to disentangle this whale. And so he went, and they worked a long time to try to get the whale out, in fact several weeks, and then they finally were able to do it. And they found that their best methods was to get close, and their best tools were filleting knives at the time.
We started the Campobello Whale Rescue Team in 2002.
And how much were you inspired by what was happening here with the Whale Rescue Group here in Newfoundland?
A lot. They were the first ones that started. They started this, so yeah, we learned a lot from them over the years, and it's always good to have the networking and talk with other people, just to see if they've seen problems, because everyone's different. Every whale entanglement's different, so it's nice to be able to ask people questions and pick on their experience. All of us getting together and sharing ideas and things like that. It's great to watch the performance of the tools in the flume tank here underwater to see how they work. And yeah, we've got a lot of good ideas, and it's great that we're a group because someone comes up with an idea and then someone else will add a little bit something to it. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of good things come out of this workshop, and hopefully it's something that'll continue on, every year, every couple years to keep improving.
Can you tell me one anecdote about a really challenging situation in the Bay of Fundy where it was really challenging, but you ended up freeing the animal?
One of that stands out in my mind is a right whale that's called FDR. This was tangled up one of the worst entanglements we'd ever seen. It turned out to be snow crab gear from the Gulf, and the whale had swam the whole way to the Bay of Fundy, entangled with that. And we were 5.5 hours cutting the rope, and bigger rope that we weren't used to. So yeah, that's one that really stands out. Just one that we thought was impossible, and after a while, like I say, 5.5 hours of cutting, we eventually freed that whale. So.
And what's that feeling when that whale's finally freed? What does it feel like?
It's hard to describe. It's almost like you could jump out of the boat and run home. It's pretty loud. Everyone's cheering and yelling. The flip side of that is when you don't get one untangled, that's a pretty long sail home, pretty long quiet sail home.
This is the same rope.
And it's great to have this meeting here where whale disentanglement started with John Lean, of course, and Wayne Ledwell and Julie, so what a fitting place to have the Canadian experts come and share thoughts, ideas, how we do things, how to keep things safe. And just really, it's so specialized that you don't have a lot of people to talk to about rescuing whales and how we do it. And everybody has different approaches, and so I've just learned so much, and I do every time I talk to these other experts in Canada. It's just amazing.
And I know you have a story about a particular gray whale, why it took so long, and what was the situation?
We had a real difficult gray whale entanglement, and it was 100 meters of gill net that a gray whale unfortunately got entangled in, and it happened at 11 o'clock at night, so it was quite dangerous. And of course this whale was very agitated, and we were notified that night actually, and we were able to get up there the next day, but unfortunately we couldn't find the animal, and it took a day and a half for it to be resighted, and we were able to track that with the satellite tag, get up there, find the whale. And this animal was exhausted. We cut it off. It was really complicated around the tail. We had to cut 3 lead lines, 3 cork lines. The whale finally broke through with the meshes. We had a drone that filmed the whole thing, was able to show the animal gear free, and it just shot off. You could tell it was relieved. It was just full of energy when it took off, and we were exhausted and so happy to see it go off and know that it's going to be a productive part of the population going forward, and it likely would have definitely drowned and died a slow, inhumane death. There's nothing like it. All the people that do this, and there's not a lot of us that disentangle whales, they're very passionate people, and of course when you actually are out and you're successful and you see those whales swim off, it's just incredible. And again, you know, I'm so lucky to do what I do. I feel like I have the best job in the world.